Hey guys, what is up? Harrison here, back with another tutorial slash strategy video. Once again, looking at a Dutch opening. This time it's the turn of the 14 age up here. Slightly more advanced strategy, mainly specifically for the upcoming eStock Major World Championship coming. That looking to explore a little bit, maybe encourage top players to play. This build order, it's not really a new build order, it's just advancing one age early, one villager early, should I say, but it does require a lot of eco macro management, treasure hunting abilities, map awareness, micro, high APM. But I think the results are really, really good, and I was watching back my previous market build video, just comparing a few timings, and if you can get the 14 build down, it's incredible, utterly incredible. So we'll look into this build, and I've got two videos or two recorded games versus the AI. I should do that for good practice. The first recorded game, I'll be doing standard build into Hussar defense, which I think is basically the most standard way to play Dutch versus other civs going Hussar openings. I'm thinking like British, the French, maybe German going for their own stable and Ulan play. And then second, just another recorded game just to reaffirm our points covered, and just going for a straight 4-bank FF versus a very passive civ. So yeah, let's hop into game number one. Now, I picked the map very specifically for this task here, New England, and the first thing I want to do is just have a quick pause just to see what we're dealing here with. So, initial thoughts here: villagers split onto the coin crates. Want to get 100 coin as soon as possible. I've already got 100 coin, and it's 4 seconds in the game. So if you can get that vill queued in by like 5 or 6 seconds, very, very strong. But New England specifically, quite good treasures, and that's what we need. 80 food in base, 2 black bears as well, giving 10 XP each. Quite critical. There's a 50 coin treasure here. So it's really kind of making the most of the treasures you get and bouncing off of that. But let's carry on. So first vill gets queued up, killing down the second black bear. 1 vill herding straight away. And as soon as I've got my herding going in and I've got a vill underneath the town centre, most of these villagers could go straight to hunt and maybe leave 1 vill gathering up the remainder crates. Pick up the treasure, looking all good. Now this map has been known for some really good treasures, and when I was playing I was thinking, wow, 80 food in base, 50 coin. My opponent's base, Queen Isabella, we got 30 coin, 40 coin, that's 70 coin starting, 80 food treasure as well. We got black bear pet treasure, which actually be a very nice opening treasure to get if you see that. And on their side, 85 wood and 100 food, so treasures galore on this map. So what's happened here specifically? I've queued up my 10 vills. I'm dropping down the house to get the extra experience points. I get 20 XP, so very important to get that before your first shipment. Coin coming in, and I'm looking to just mine just a 50 coin from here. Even though Dutch did get that coin in buff in the latest patch from 15% faster to 20% faster, we actually want to minimize how much coin we can mine, and it's really putting the emphasis on how many coin treasures can you find in an early time, and that really will dictate how fast you age. So I get the coin, vill queued. I'm going to pull these villagers off, but not after I've herded a hunt towards them, just to try and help efficiency. I killed 1 elk because I thought it was going to run towards me, but it ran around the town centre. Seen at 90 food treasure. Going to crack shot that and take it again. So far, 80 food, 90 food, 50 coin. Looking to get the age up in, and the shipment being sent at 150. Just something I want to touch on at the moment. We just had that shipment come in at 1 minute and 50 seconds. If you start a Dutch game, build a house, and then just leave it, just do nothing, and let that XP come in, you'll get your first shipment at 2 minutes and 21 seconds, or let's say 2 minutes 20 seconds. And getting that first shipment in early is just so crucial. I think it's probably one of the most crucial parts of really focusing down on an age 1 build. So let's just think about it. XP gets generated from your home city just as a baseline, 2 experience points per second. That means in 5 seconds you get 10 XP. Most treasure guardians like the wolf, the black bear, there's wolves. These guys might have a little bit more. Okay, only 9 XP from the outlaw rifleman. A little bit lower. I would have thought they would have a bit more. But most XP guardians give 10 experience points. So each treasure guardian you kill, your shipment comes in 5 seconds faster. And if you kill one, 5 seconds, that's nice. If you get killed 2, that's 10. If you keep killing and killing and killing, your shipment comes in faster. And if we were to do a quick calculation, I won't get X out for this one, but let's say your shipment comes in, 10 XP. What does 10 XP represent for Dutch? So your first shipment, always going to be the 3 vils. I'm sending 3 vils right now, so 10 XP relates to 5 seconds earlier of the shipment. So we have 5 seconds timed by 3 villagers, because you got those 3 villagers working much earlier, and given that they each gather food at 0.84 food per second, that 10 XP is the equivalent of 12.6 food. And if the vills come in so that you get sent to the chopping the wood in transition, that's 7.5 wood. That's actually quite a lot. If you kill, if you find yourself an in-base 40 experience treasure guarded by a wolf, so the wolf is 10, and then they guard in a 40 XP treasure, that's 50 experience points. Your shipment comes in 25 seconds earlier. That means that entire treasure there and then is about 37.5 wood. If it's foods though, 63 food, and one wolf guarding a 60 food treasure, essentially. Or let's just say it's a free pickup if you use a crack shot, or 60 food is nothing to sniff at. So experience points, really, really important to kind of get a grasp on and focus in this. Right, let's carry on. So I've got all these food treasures, I've got my food ready to age up already, so I'm just going to click that. Quite often you might get a bit tight for age up time on the food. A little bit of idle time here and there is not an issue, it really isn't. And the reason why the 14 vil works here in this sense is I haven't mined an extra 100 coin here, and in that 100 coin I've mined, I've lost all that like 150 odd food due to missed coin, and then you have to kind of really catch up to get to that 800. So you naturally just, if you age up 1 vil later, you do age up 1 vil later, but you start the kind of gathering for the bank later as well, so everything gets pushed back a little bit. So look at this, I've got vils split on trees, a nice big split of more wood than food. You can go for even splits, but this split here is intentional because I have sheeps. Once I hit 350 wood, onto the sheeps or onto the deer and get that food coming in. So if I was looking into my fog of war, what have I scouted? I've scouted this 100 food treasure. I haven't realised my AI is taking it, but I'm just going to leave it. I've scouted the coin. That's really nice for me. Anyway, 350 food, 375 wood. A little bit of coin gathering here, but I'm looking to build my first bank. What is the time? The time is 3 minutes and 16 seconds. So your first target time for a bank with 14 vil age up is 3 minutes and 20 seconds. If you hit that timing of the bank being thrown down on the floor and being built, you've had a good start. You really have a good start. That bank should be up just before the age up comes in. A little bit of coin here being mined can help, but here I've struck the jackpot with an 80 coin treasure. It's just coming at the right time just to help get that first villain queue. So I got all this coin, first villain queue. The bank's being completed before the age up. I have the XP for the first shipment. I age up instantly, 700 wood queued, because I already had that 1 vil queued, so I didn't need to go to the town centre to queue the vil up first. I can just do it straight away. And usually, if you have one bank to support villager production, you have 3 vils on the coin mine continuously, or maybe 2 now in this latest buff batch. But because I've already got 1 vil in queue, and 140 odd coin in the stockpile in reserve, I can put off all my coin gatherers and never have to gather a bit of coin for the time being. So yeah, just herding in, just trying to get some decent gains coming in. The wood's been gathered up by 4 vills. Bit of an issue if you kill too many hunts around your TC, the wood crates get scattered, a bit's awkward. But I've got the food ready. Wood's been collected up. Second bank, resources available from 410, but a little bit slow on getting on the hotkeys and getting the villas building it. But that's come down 415. And if you can get the second bank by 4 minutes 20, as in right now, I think you're in for a good time. Here comes the cords of wood. The XP should come in from the bank to send my next shipment. It'd be close enough. I've also been gathering a couple of treasure guardians out in the field, so I do have a bit of XP. Too many villagers here on the wood. That's a mistake of mine, but I don't think it'll be too bad because I'm getting food. It's a little bit away. I've ate my sheep already just to try and maximize this, and my next bank has the resources at 450 being dropped down, and the target time to send the next bank is 5 minutes. So that bank's going to be sent now, maybe 1 or 2 seconds after. A little bit sloppy, my bad. But the challenge for you guys to replicate this is plain as the Dutch. Can you get your 3 banks built or built in, i.e. your 3rd bank here, that foundation has been laid, and send in your bank wagon from the home city by 5 minutes? That is the target time, because there are some civilizations on some maps, and if we think back to RE when Japan started with a coin crate, they're very slow to get going, and the coin crate for them back in the old game was really disabling. It was really bad. But some civs, even possibly China today, with a bit of not great start, maybe aging at this time, and you're already getting this massive eco going. It's just pushing everything forwards. And I was actually looking back at my market video and at my build where I was, granted, no treasures. I would accept there was no treasures there because I wanted to kind of have an objective comparison. But with no treasures, I was only just building my second bank, I think. I'm just about to put the foundations down, and 700 wood was only just about to come in. So the sage up was 1 vil earlier. Your shipments come in faster. You get to spend them faster and faster, and this progression moves faster. The 700 wood's been gathered up. Banks first, then the stable, and then your remaining wood will be for 2 houses. But I think I just go bot mode and go market house here. Really should be looking at the 2 houses. Do I go 2 houses? I can't remember. I don't think it fully matters. But it's important for the... Yeah, I think I do go for a second house because it's very important for this husk batch. But so the stables come up, Hussar straight away in queue. Haven't really been gathering too much coin just due to the remainder coin being gathered by the banks. I've got a bank shipment nearly popping out. Can be nice to use for walling. Second house is... Another house is coming down. Pop space enabled for the full batch of Hussars. And I'm looking at my macro thinking, okay, look, got a lot of food here. Need a little bit more coin. Let's pull a few of these settlers across. But I'm looking to be getting a full batch of 5 Hussars out. I've got another shipment here, so this could be the time to go 8 pikes or 600 wood. I'm going 600 wood. But the 5 Hussars in queue and will pop out, and they're going to come out at 6 minutes. This 6 minutes is a crucial timing. This is the same time that French on a 14 CDB age-up standard time will have their stable out, produced 5 Hussars, and charged across the map. So I'm assuming 14 vil, stable in base, but at 6 minutes, 5 Hussars will be in your base. You got 5 Hussars yourself, and that minimises the amount of time your villagers are in the town centre being idle. So these Hussars here are more defensive Hussars instead of aggressive raiding. So I think that's very important timing for these Hussars, and quite often I've always struggled with the idea of having why to build a defensive stable when actually sometimes that even gets denied by Hussars coming into your base that early. So it's a really nice timing here. I haven't been slowed down. I've never not been able to build a bank. I've never been idled with villagers. Yes, it's a little bit, you know, touch and go in places with like perfect macro, but with better macro, I think this build becomes absolutely fantastic. I've got great eco. From here, I can decide whether, you know, I could have gone 8 pike here, have enough population for another 2 villagers, not train any more hussars and age from it, or I could go 600 wood. So that could be another house, train another full batch of 5. I think in this case, I'm going to play it on from here. The wood actually comes in a little bit slow, so you might actually want to delay the second batch of huss, because at the population space at the moment, you only get a batch of 4 out. Get that ville back in queue. A little bit idle from the town centre. That's not build related, that's just my own tardiness. But the resources for the next batch of huss shouldn't be too much of an issue at the moment. Everything's looking nice and good. My Spanish standard AI is still in the first stage, bless her. She'll get there at the end. But here comes the next batch of hussars. I'm trying to get this house down. I realise the problem. This wood's coming too early. I only get 9 hussars out, but 9 hussars is okay. If you're defending against a 10 hussar push from France, maybe. Yeah, 9 is not ideal, but with town centre fire, if French gets into your base, you can trap them. Minutemen will be able to be enough extra oomph to slaughter the remaining. And, you know, I should have a decent age up time here. Big eco. I've gone for 1 extra house here, so maybe I shouldn't have gone for the 5th house. The extra 5th house is not needed, so that I would have resources for a bank. But I'm on the train of not wanting to build a 5th bank in the second stage, because I think it's a little bit too greedy. You can get it in transition or on the 1,000 woods afterwards. But here comes 9 hussars. I'm just gathering up. I'm looking at the clock, 7:40. I'm looking at my resources. Yeah, I'll just go for 1 more. And this should be good enough for an 8-minute age up with 9 hussars defending. No idle time here. Villagers, they do have their hunting dogs. So when I've got 20 villagers hunting, you know, the hunting dogs, they do come in. It comes in later, granted. But having, you know, your 4 banks being built and being shipped by 5 minutes is just too strong. The age up comes in, lots of resources left over. And I'm looking pretty good, and that's probably the end of this wreck, because this is just testing the build to see how it goes. So yeah, to recap this one then, what am I looking for? Good vill splits early on the crates, early vill kill, trying to get a decent amount of XP from treasures early on, focusing on coin and experience treasures. You want to try and minimize the amount of coin being gathered from your mine in age 1, so you maximize the amount of time you're hunting from the deer. Beaver treasures are your friends, so if you see an in-base beaver treasure and in-base experience treasure, get both of them. Even at the tier 1, get both of them, because the experience really helps your first shipment, and it's so good. The coin is what speeds up this age up, because the less coin you mine, the more food you can get. It's just looking good. And then making use of herdables as well early on. Don't be afraid to eat your herdables early on. That extra bit of food boost can really help these builds, you know, round out the edges, let's say, and get these crisp builds going. Right, next game. Can I load from here? No, I gotta quit from here. I can't load. Right, let's load the next game. So, nothing much different here in terms of what's going on, but it's just nice to see a second game just to see how it goes and how it compares to my previous one. So first Ville really queued up early. I see this coin treasure, I'm off to it already. Getting most of my villagers onto the hunt early on. Should probably put these villagers into the town centre onto the hunt already, because it's a lot of walking time if they're going to get all the crates up, so that's what I do. 1 settler here, wood onto the hunt. This settler onto the food, onto the mine. Leave the second wood crate, I don't need it this early in the game. But at the moment I'm looking around. Wood treasure behind, food treasure, wood treasure. Not seen too much coin. I come across this coin treasure, so 32 experience points worth of treasure kills and 65 coin. This treasure is insane for Dutch. It's absolutely insane. I can't even understate it. And on a map like this, I'm going to assume that your human opponent will be scouting down to the south side where most of these yaks are. So I feel like this is a natural scouting pattern for your own player. I don't think the other explorers should be in that area. They could be, so maybe not fully worth it, worth taking the risk there. But villager, again, next villager in queue. The house is already down. And my first shipment is looking to come really early. You got a couple of water buffaloes. They could just sit underneath the house just to free up this crucial space underneath your town centre. And yeah, 50 coin treasure. I was thinking about leaving it, but the crack shot was nearly ready to go. So I come back in for the crack shots. And that will help the coin for your villager in transition. Bit of XP is quite nice. But it saves me ever having to come back up this way again. Ship number 1, 1 minute 50 once again, so some good timing on your first shipment. Now, water buffaloes are interesting herdables. They are like cows. You actually prefer to have yaks in this case because they start with a higher base food. You don't really want to keep these yaks around for too long because they're so much better helping your build progress along. So Vil comes out about 770. Ajep comes in just slightly afterwards. That's all fine. Looks like I managed to gather up that wood crate from an idle Vil. It's not too bad. I've got my explorer sitting here on a 35 wood treasure. I think he's going to go in and probably kite it back. Maybe I'm just a bit APM limited for the time being. Yak coming back in from scouting behind. Sees the back coin mine. Reaffirms my sight on the 35 wood. And again, a heavy wood split here, because once I have that target wood, I can move on. Back onto food. Treasure gets picked up here. Now scouting down to the south side, still collecting my yaks. Obviously, if this is a human opponent, most of these yaks down here would have been taken by the opponent by now. But okay, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I got, right, 35 wood treasure in base. I can start putting my villagers off now, actually, because I do have enough wood. My food count's looking a little bit low. Fire and move. As soon as you kill the animal, move towards it and skip that reload animation because it just slows you down. And also, if you move on top of the deer as well, it kind of stops that awkward bumping. So that helps. Bank coming down. Again, good timing there, about 3:20, 3:22 possibly. I wasn't actually paying attention at the clock. Couple Vils here on the team mine, just getting the coin required to get that first villager in queue. Back once again, now a little bit of residue coin income, just helping just to get that coin across the mark. The villager comes in, the Ajep's in, and my first action here will be to call 700 wood, because I don't need to call that villager because it was called before the Ajep came in. And yeah, just another really crisp 14 Vil Ajep here, 4 Vils or 3 Vils on the wood. A bit food limited here, actually. I've got a bit too many coin miners. You should have brought those off a little bit earlier. No, should be enough, actually. Oh, wait, no, yeah. I've got a full villager, 30 coin, and the bank coming in, so should be enough. Hey, bank's been called, coming down. Yeah, about 417 there, but the 420 mark has been achieved. That's my timer to know that this build is on track. It's some good timings at the moment. Finds in a 40 wood treasure. Not critical for the build at all, but it's just nice to have. And you can see where it comes nice in later on. Again, villager, as soon as it pops out, I've got the coin ready for another villager, and that's the benefit of that second bank coming up at that point. Just minimizes the amount of coin, and so far this game I've only mined 102 coin from the mine, just keeping this as minimum as possible, collecting as much food as possible. Here comes the home city shipment, getting that bank wagon being sent, the bank's been thrown down, calling the bank wagon, 458, my 5-minute target has been achieved, mission accomplished. What a good build so far. And from here, I'm actually going to just trying out a no stable approach here, just market, house, and try and age up. Options here would be to get, if you didn't have that wood treasure, could be hunting dogs and a church. You could do hunting dogs and steel traps. So what you could do is maybe go market on the 700 wood, get the market built first, and then on the next 350 wood, go for that bank. So then you get the hunting dogs working behind a lot faster. Then you can get access to that steel traps a bit faster. Got 4 water buffaloes still. You know, their food count is increasing, but still can be used. That bank's been called out, being thrown down as soon as possible. But yeah, it's 5 minute 50. Got some good resources at the moment. Looking to hit a decent 7-minute age up here, or possibly earlier. I know that 7 minutes was my target time for this build on a 15 age up. But I'm quite confident that this build here, you can get this age up a lot sooner. And I accidentally move all my villagers here. This is that's like a double click error. When it didn't even feel like a double click. But sometimes that happens, so you've got to be very careful about that. But a quick recovery. Look at the clock, look at my resources. Another vill has been queued up, but I think this should be the last one. Market, because I've got hunting dogs. Selling food for coin is fine. It's a good trade. Even at worst, positive trade at best in terms of maximising those villager seconds. Here comes a water buffalo just to help out. Delete the water buffalo, gather it up. And this is like a excellent use of water buffaloes, just getting the resources for the age. I think I accidentally sold 2 clicks of food here. It was a bit awkward, but I get there in time, and the age up is queued in at 6 minutes and 45 seconds. 600 wood on the floor behind this, and from here I'm gonna drop down my stable, 2 houses. You know, stable racks, 2 houses probably. Yeah, the barracks have been thrown down. Could also go for, yeah, place some mines and steel traps. Yeah, so I had the stable leftover wood from the 700 wood. I didn't really spend it. Had that extra 50 wood from over chopping and that 40 wood treasure for the hunting dogs. So the barracks and 2 houses is 400 wood. So place some mines and steel traps is going to be your remaining 200 wood. And I think this is a good time to get those upgrades and save the bank wagon, your 5th bank wagon. Not bank wagon, bank being built on the 1000 wood. So I'm aged up at a decent time. Full batches of skirm reuters. And I just continue this game just a little bit longer to see actually how far can I get these full batches from the barracks and stables out, and just to see how this build goes on. Quick look at my deck, nothing too special here. It's just a semi-water deck. I don't like having 2 caravels in H2. I think it's a pretty pointless card. It doesn't help your build and actually really slows you down. For improved warships is nice. Opening 3 Floits versus the water boom is so strong. It's incredibly strong card, and it's if anything, it is overpowered. You know, they have reduced the price of the Floits, so making that shipment technically less OP, but still 3 Floits out of nowhere is just so incredibly strong. It's probably should have some sort of coin cost to it, and that's just being honest there. It's better than a frigate in all ways. 3 Floits are better versus warships or a frigate. Much better versus raiding villagers because you got 3 of them, or fishing boats. Better resistant dockfire. It's just too good. Hey, 10 skirms, 10 reuters, another skirm reuter batch coming in. 1k wood, about to hit the floor. So I'm not slacking on unit production here. Here comes the wood, and that's going to be bank, 2nd racks, 2nd stable, and leftover for houses. But realistically, if I'm going for the bank wagon build here, or building the bank on this 1k wood, I don't think I need to be dropping down a 4th production building, because I need a lot of wood for housing to keep up, and it gets a bit awkward. But it's you can always buy from the market, and just, I think in this case, when you've got a high eco, and obviously I'm not fighting at the moment, so I'm not losing population to military trades, but if you've got a high eco behind this, you've got to be ahead of that housing curve, because it's a race between you and the population, and quite often the population wins. Like, look, I got 55 out of 60. I'm not building a house. I'm building a house now, but I really need to get that going for to get this next batch out. Stable and barracks being produced. But yeah, this is the 14ville age up requires a lot of map awareness, micro ability, good eco management in age 1, but it pays off, I think. Especially like Hussar defense or straight semi-FF. Like I'm bouncing at 645 with 4 banks. It's incredibly good compromise between eco and timing. So I just look at I've got double Reuter, double scum, and 9 Reuters coming. But I think here I get a little bit housed and I don't get a full batch here. So if I was to, let's say, drop my second stable, another 2 houses, not spending the resources into Reuters, I could definitely get 10 scum here and 5 Reuter pop. I'm housed at this point, but I've got the resources for another 5 units there. So it's a little bit disappointing there, but good eco, good military progression. Shipment comes in, first shipment being 1k wood, second shipment's military shipment, and depending on how the game goes, probably going to your combat cards afterward is a good shout. But yeah, that's been this game. So if I was to, let's try and get to the end of this game so I can look at the post game, so we can just have a little look to see where these XP jumps from the banks come in, so we can kind of have lasting thoughts. Other things to consider as well: the map pool for the full map pool for the tournament: Kamchatka, Florida, Manchuria, Mongolia, Alaska, Central Plains, Grand Chaco, Saguenay, Pampasieres, Dakota, Colorado, Dhaka, Fraser River, and Vietnam. There's a lot of maps there Dutch can do well. Florida, you start off with a market, so you can buy your wood in transition. Basically, free hunting dogs in Age 1 as well. Insane map for Dutch. Insane. 14 Ville with hunting dogs and a faster bank. You can get your bank up by like 3 minutes 10. It's a great map for that. Mongolia, you start off with an extra 100 coin. So all that kind of playing around, do I get coin treasures? You skip that because you get that extra coin and you can focus on getting the yaks in. Eat the yaks for a faster banking transition. And Manchuria, that's really good treasures. 2 coin mines in base. Yeah, decent treasures and lots of yaks, that's fine. Grand Chaco and Pampasieres, no TP map, that's where Dutch excel. So versus high TP seers like Portuguese maybe, Otto taking full map control. That's something that Dutch do struggle a little bit. Dhaka, a mixture between land, water and trading routes, but there's a lot of coin treasures on that map, so that's really nice. Middle Pond for 3 floats, maybe Southern Sea for 3 floats to disrupt sea as well, really good. Fraser River, double coin in base, quite a lot of lower tier treasures there to be picking up. Vietnam, Deccan crate start on a map with no TPs. There is Sweet Sea, but I haven't specifically looked into Deccan crate starts for a long time, but Dutch looking to be strong there as well. Looking at the post game here, resources of course incredible. So villager population, I'm aging up with 14 Ville. 14 Ville comes in at a decent time actually. 2 minutes 20 is when the shipment comes in. I get an age up. Villager straight in queue, but the age up here is about, is it 345, 350? It's a really fast. The bank's done, villagers in queue straight away, and the next age up actually comes in at about 7:30, but I'm clicking up at 6:45. So we're advancing just a little bit behind standard Spain here with a mega eco. Dutch feel really strong at the moment, but it's not really because Dutch has just done anything different. It's quite nice. And starting with 400 coin and the 100 food, if you get the coin treasures, then that 100 food extra crate you get instead of, let's say, 500 coin crate starts, it really impacts that age up more, and it's so good. It's a really nice balance between the coin crates and food crates. Really, really good. Let's look at XP, so you can get to see when there's banks being produced. So first bank here before the age up, critical. That's been built, basically be finished by about, is it 340? Yeah, 340. Next one, 430, going down about 415, 420. And these 4 banks come in so quick, and just your shipment progression is very strong and positive. 3 Ville, 700 wood, bank wagon, 600 wood is the most standard way of doing it. So you could just do 700 wood, 600 wood bank wagon if you wanted to, but I think the bank wagon early on is so nice because it just gets you that bank earlier. XP helps the next shipment as well, because this shipment is It's not exactly automatic. It does depend on the banks before, but coming in this early just gives you impetus. And I think here it's a nice time to get 8 pikes on the field with hussars if you want to deny TPs, push a forward blockhouse, that sense. So yeah, I'm really happy that a 14 vil on these good maps, maps with good treasures, good hunts, good herdables. If you can do it, do it. I don't see a downside to here. It's better defensively, it's better economically, it's better tempo-wise. Requires a lot of APM, I have to say, but once you get on it, I think it's just spot on. I don't see, once you get that first bank down and built before the Egypt comes in and you got that vil in queue, I don't see how the 14 vil is any way inferior to a 15 vil Egypt standard, and it just increases your tempo throughout the game, and it's really good. And honestly, I'm just excited to see how top players play Dutch in this upcoming tournament, and whether they'll do any specific build practice with this civ, because I think this is a civ where if you get the builds down, you get the practice in, you just reap the rewards. And the challenge for you guys at home, if you wanted to do it, 4 banks, so you get your 3 banks built or building, and send your bank shipment by 5 minutes. That is the target, and if you can do that, then you're in a strong position to take this onto the quick search ladder, and you have some really good games with Dutch, and I look forward to seeing those replays as they come in. So that's going to be it for me for this one. Hope you enjoyed this one. Is this better than the market? Yeah, I've kind of gone off the market build. It was really nice to investigate and explore, but that was comparing, apples and apples with the 15 vil standard and the 15 vil market. But compared to this 14 villager, if you get it nice and smooth, it's just so crisp, it's so good. Your shipment's coming on the floor 25 seconds earlier. Like, even having a bank as your third shipment come in about 25 seconds earlier, that's 4 villagers worth of coin for an extra 25 seconds. That's 100, coin villager seconds. That's not an insignificant amount of coin coming in, and that's about 78, 80 coin worth of just extra resources by that time compared to other builds. It helps so much. It really does. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you soon.